Holding fresh carnations and wearing paper forget-me-nots on their chests, 8th graders from Yerevan's number 197 school are visiting Tsitsernakaberd on a field trip. Blood flowed like water. The gorges had turned into tombs. The ravines had become graveyards. The water washed our house away. Every year, more and more groups of school children visit Tsitsernakaberd. Soon, when renovations of the Genocide Museum Institute are finished, one of its halls will be designated for students. Here we'll have a lecture hall. Meanwhile, an extraordinary exhibition is in the works. It is dedicated to Armenia's Joan of Arc, Aurora Mardiganyan, who remains unknown to most Armenians. In 2011, I had the good fortune to come across Aurora Mardiganyan's personal archive and bring it to Yerevan. Aurora, born Arshaluis, was a genocide survivor who wrote the book Ravished Armenia, on which was based Hollywood's first ever movie about the genocide, made in 1919. Only a tiny segment of the film, which was titled Auction of Souls, has been preserved. Aurora portrayed herself in the movie as a 14-year-old girl who had escaped from a Turkish harem. Her story, as well as others, are presented on 32 screens. The adjacent gallery features reports from the international press, which are exhibited on close to 50 screens. In the past 5 years, the museum's repositories have doubled in size. Some 80,000 rare documents and photographs are preserved here. Most items are purchased by the museum, while some are donated. The most valuable among recent donations was made by the deputy mayor of Athens. 450 original photographs of Armenian and Greek genocide survivors from Athens' deputy mayor, whose parents were orphanage workers. Haik de Moyan describes the museum's acquisition process as aggressive, and the results unimaginable. So much so that the museum has had to expand its gallery spaces 250%. It will be an unprecedented, ultra-modern showcase of historical documents pertaining to the genocide. The goal is to present the genocide theme with a novel approach, showcasing newly acquired material or documents and artifacts which were hitherto obscure or underappreciated. As importantly, we have made certain that everything in the exhibit is rigorously researched, with all photographs and texts verified and authenticated beyond the shadow of a doubt. While our previous main exhibit was a pioneering phenomenon in its own right, I think the new exhibit is absolutely groundbreaking. Following 2.5 years of renovations, the museum will reopen on April 24, 2015. The refurbishment of the institution, as well as the Genocide Memorial Complex, was initiated by the government of Armenia. First and foremost, some of the museum's foundations were replaced. The structure is the first museum and scientific establishment to be built in Armenia since independence. The decision to build it was made by the Armenian government in 1994, the year the Artsakh War ceasefire was reached. The museum opened within a year, on the 80th anniversary of the genocide. Its construction was made possible by the Hayastan All-Armenian Fund. The fund has had a leading role in the establishment of the museum. In 1994, when the war had just stopped and Armenia could not afford a project of this scale, the Hayastan All-Armenian Fund was the first to invest in it, ensuring its timely construction. In 2006, when I became the museum's director, I requested certain repairs and cosmetic enhancements, which were fully implemented by the Hayastan All-Armenian Fund. Those improvements, which helped modernize the museum, were significant. Today's extensive renovation project, which started in 2011, has heralded the veritable rebirth of the museum. The doors of the refurbished and expanded exhibit galleries will remain closed to cameras and visitors until April 24th, and De Moyan likes it that way. Our renovated galleries are equipped with the latest multimedia technologies, featuring touchscreens, computers, projectors, and large video displays, making for an interactive and highly engaging visitor experience. Through the integration of cutting-edge technologies and innovative architecture, the museum provides a kaleidoscopic glimpse of the horrific events of the genocide. Visitors must feel as though they're actually witnessing the deportations and massacres, as they perceive those horrors through survivor testimonies, images of carnage, and the extremely powerful gazes of survivors captured on film. They must feel as though they themselves could have been among the victims or those who defied death. Ultimately, visitors must come away with a positive spirit and a profound will to live. Ah, how does one forget those days of calamity? Mrs. Martirosyan's instruction continues at the Genocide Memorial Complex. The immortal poem continues to flicker around the eternal flame. It's through this flame that these students, along with the Armenians of the entire world, convey a singular message. We remember and demand justice.